And then people ask me, well, what's the difference between Generation X, which is my generation of video gamers from 1980s, 1990s, and early 2000 versus mid 2000 Gen Z? All they do is complain. Okay? They don't appreciate nothing. It's just complaining. Complaining about the loading screens, complaining about the frame rate, complaining about the game's too repetitive. These complaints makes you wonder, these so-called gamers, Gen Z gamers. Yes, you're going to hear this from you truly. The king of Generation X. Think of me like Vanilla Ice. Don't blink twice. Roll the dice. And get on with your life, will you? Look, it's hilarious. And that's why I'm making this video, because it's hilarious. I was wondering, what's with the complaints about the, Starfield? Because I want to buy a Starfield, I want to buy it on PS5. Okay, I have enough money to buy it. And I was wondering, like, what's with the complaints, right? What's with the complaints? Why are they complaining about this game? What's going on? And then I look it up. And then I find out, oh, it's the loading screen. Oh. Really? Wait, whoa. It's the loading screen? Okay? That is your complaint? The loading screen? Okay, you know what, man? If that's your complaint, you need to stop. You need to stop playing video games. There's plenty of games that have loading screen. Okay? Remember The Last of Us on the PlayStation 3, how long it took to load the screen? Even the Mass Effect had a loading screen. Even Elder Scrolls had a loading screen. Even the Oblivion had a loading screen. Even a Skyrim has a loading screen. And all the Mass Effects, loading screen. Okay, all right. So, that is your complaint. You're going to complain about you have to wait 20 seconds. Your complaint is 20 seconds. Yeah, but Mr. 4K, this is 2026. We, entitled Gen Zs, we do not appreciate. Okay? We do not appreciate loading screens. Okay? We have super solid state drive SSDs. Okay? Even our AI, it's loading faster. Even your AI, when you're creating AI imagery and videos, takes time to process. Are you going to complain about when you create those AI videos? For all of you who are uploading AI videos on YouTube, are you going to complain about how long it takes to process the AI video to put it out there? You're not complaining about that, but you're going to complain about Starfield. I thought, okay, maybe they have a legitimate reason to complain about this game. I thought maybe there's bugs in the game. Maybe the game, it's freezing, crashing, and it's unplayable, and it's suffering from a very low frame rate or something. Okay, I was like, all right, maybe there's something, that has a merit. You know the word merit? Look it up on Google. Ask your Siri, ask your Alexa to look it up for you. Okay, merit. I thought maybe their criticism, constructive criticism has some merit. Merit. None. Zero. They're complaining about the loading screen. And I look at these videos, like this guy. Another loading screen. Oh.
Is on the surface.
Really, dude?
So you gotta tab into it?
Really, Gen Z?
That's okay.
Okay, Gen Z. Okay. Go get your medicine, all right?
Immersive spaceship
Whatever, dude.
So this guy
Is on the surface.
Dude, they're all complaining about the loading. Okay, alright. Loading screen. Loading screen. What is this guy complaining about?
At this point of playing Starfield, you've probably seen a few too many loading screens. Perhaps you've seen all of the loading screens, so why not take advantage of photo mode? Snap some tasteful pictures of your adventures, and then you'll find that the pictures you take in photo mode will actually start to appear on the loading screen.
That's the whole point, is to look at your loading screen. Isn't that cool? While you're waiting for the game to load, you look at your photos that you took. Listen, man, this generation, it's spoiled. Yo, listen, I'm speaking for my generation, okay? I'm a spokesperson for Generation X. I'm not a spokesperson for Gen Z, Generation Z. Okay, I'm not a letter Z. I'm a letter X. X. I'm not Z. Okay? So I'm speaking for my generation. This Generation Z has to be the most pampered, the most spoiled, pampered generation in the history of humankind. Really, dude. Just enjoy. Like, do you guys enjoy video games? I mean, do you enjoy video games? Do you? Do you play video games? No, I never seen you guys, like, enjoy anything. It's always complaining. Every game. This game's too repetitive. This game's too repetitive. This game's too short. Samson sucks. It's a short game. It's too repetitive. Yeah. So is every other game. It's repetitive. Guess what you do in Starfield? Doing a lot of repetitive stuff. A lot of repetitive missions. Okay, so if that's your argument, if every game is repetitive, well then guess what? Then you need to quit gaming. Because every game is repetitive. What do you do in Grand Theft Auto? Repetitive stuff. What do you do in God of War? Repetitive stuff. What do you do in The Last of Us? Repetitive stuff. What do you do in Ghost of Yotei? Bunch of missions, side missions, repetitive stuff. What do you do in Skyrim? Bunch of repetitive stuff. If we're going to go with this repetitive notion, then every game, it's repetitive. Mass Effect, you're doing essentially the same thing. Repetitive missions. Like, you know, this is the difference between my generation, X, and this Gen Z generation. They're not real gamers, dude. Listen, my generation, we were born at the peak of the embryo of video gaming. This was like when they planted the seed with the very first computer, with a very first console, the Atari and Sega Genesis, Nintendo, and the very first home computer that was affordable, like a Commodore 64, and the Amiga A500. Okay, before the IBM and all the other computers that came in the 90s, you know, and even late 80s, you know, 87, 88, 89, IBM had their own computers, of course. And then in 1990s with a floppy disk, and then in the mid 90s with a CD. Listen, we went through all of that, dude. I was born, dude. Like my very first computer was Spectrum ZX Sinclair. That was like my very first computer. Was me and my brother, Spectrum ZX Sinclair, and then after that Commodore 64. So we've been through all of it. All of these games, man, all of it. I lived through it. My generation lived through it. We lived through all of it. The greatness, the golden age. Listen, and I know this bothers you, Gen Z, but we had it the best. We're the OGs, bro. We're the OGs. We've been through all of it. All the original stuff, all the greatness you can think of. We were molded and born into it, and we enjoyed it. You guys are just pampered, man. You know, born into this pampered diva-like, entitled, just spoiled diva, entitled, just complaints. That's not us. my generation, we actually appreciated, because we had everything great, man. All of our games that came out from the Atari, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Commodore 64, Amiga A500, everything. It was great. It was greatness. The very first PC games, I remember playing the X-Wing, and the very first PC game I had in 1990. I remember playing Police Quest and SWAT and all these other games, dude. Listen, and then of course, you know, later on, Unreal Tournament, Quake, Doom. Listen, we're the OG of the video games. So when, for us who are like middle-aged in our 50s, so when we hear these young Gen Zs complaining about a loading screen, seriously, like how do you expect me to react to that? How do you expect me to react to these videos? How? If that's your complaint, if that's all you're complaining, is the loading screen, dude, we didn't complain about it back in 2023. In 2023, we were okay with it. I was okay with it. Go watch my videos. Back in 2023 September, when it came out, 2023 September, I didn't complain about it. I actually enjoyed the loading videos where I can see the photos that I took, the screenshots that I took, right? I didn't complain about it. Others didn't complain about it. But all of a sudden now, everyone's complaining about it. Why? Why now?
Why does Starfield have loading screens?
Because you're a Gen Z. Just listen to this guy. Because you're a Gen Z, that's why. You're a Gen Z, and now you want to join the trend. And now you, a little pencil neck, a little square eye, little pencil neck Gen Z, spoiled little nitwit, now you're going to go ahead, you're going to make a little video like this, right? To get some recognition, to join the trend. To join the trend. It's, this generation's so pathetic, man. This should tell you everything you need to know. This little nitwit, whoever this guy is, what's his name? David T. Media, Xbox Game Pass.
It's because there's actually a game to load, unlike PlayStation games. Why does Starfield have loading screens? It's because there's actually a game to load, unlike PlayStation games. Why does...
Dude, are you hooked on something, bro? Alright? Are you hooked on something, bro? Should we check your arm? Everything good there? No syringe stuck in there? Jesus Christ, man. Gen Z. Here we go again. Look at this guy. Another Gen Z.
Can you imagine 16 times the loading screens, though?
Yeah. It's quite an experience, and I know every...
This has to be the fakest, phoniest generation in the history of humankind. And even the Greys, the aliens, I'm sure they would agree. They would say that my generation, Gen X, was way better. The Gen X was way better, dude. Instead of this Z. Oh, my God.
Everyone here is very excited to experience this.
Can you imagine 16 times the loading screens, though?
And just listen to his voice. Can you imagine 16 times? Like a spoiled little toddler. Change your diapers, bro. Will you? Will you?
Yeah. It's quite an experience, and I know everyone here is very excited to experience it soon.
Can you imagine 16 times the loading screens, though?
Yeah. It's quite an experience, and I know everyone here is very excited to experience it soon.
Can you imagine 16 times the loading screens, though?
Yeah, it's quite an experience, and I know everyone here is.
Really? Yo, listen, I can make these videos all day long. Yo, I could make a separate channel just roasting Gen Z. No, that's easy. It's easy for. I don't know. Maybe I should open a second channel just where I'm roasting Gen Z 24/7, 365 days. No. I think I'm gonna make a second channel where it's just going to be me roasting Gen Z 24/7, 365 days a year, 24/7, 365 days a year. This is easy for you truly. Oh my God. Pathetic, man. Complainers. Pathetic. Look at him. Pathetic, man. Pathetic. Hold on. Let's see. Do we have some more? Okay, this guy's cool. He likes it. He's excited. That's how you should be, man. And who's this? Let me see. Loading screen game of the year. Let's see. Here we go.
You see this big door? No, you don't, because now there's going to be a loading screen. You see this big door? No, you don't, because now there's going to be a loading screen.
Wow. This guy, I guess he just cut his umbilical cord. He's just got born. Where have you been? Where have you been in the past 30 years? In the past 40 years? Oh, that's right. He wasn't born. Because he's a Gen Z. Complaining about loading screen. Oh. Is that why you only got 4 likes? Oh, yeah, I see that. This is, I love it. Listen, I love exposing Gen Z. Maybe I should open a... Seriously, I wish I had time, dude. Because, it's time consuming, man. But I would love to, man, to like open the second channel just to roast this generation, this pampered, spoiled, pampered Generation Z. Oh my God. Let's see what else we have. There's some more loading screen. Hold on. Here we go. Where is it? Loading screen? Loading screen? We have some more loading screen? And what's wrong with this? It was a conscious decision that they wanted to make, that you cannot skip this. Because they want you to feel like you are part of this journey of exploring the stars. So you can look at your ship that you created. That's the whole point, man. Don't you want to see how your ship take off? I want to see my ship when it takes off. That's the whole point. You want to see it when it enters the orbit, when it enters the planet. That's the whole point. You Gen Z spoiled little nitwits. All right, man, that's it. Listen, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, man. This generation, man. This is the most spoiled, pampered, entitled generation I've ever seen. Dude, there's a major difference between my generation and Gen Z. It's exhausting just like talking about them. Honestly, it's just talking about them. It's exhausting. They suck all of the air out of the room, dude. They suck all the energy out of the room like a vacuum. Oh, man. That's their complaint. I was like, well, what's everyone complaining about? Like, I thought maybe there was some legitimate complaint, right? Because I want to buy this game. I thought maybe there's some legitimate complaint about the Starfield. I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh man, hold on. Maybe I should hold off and not buy this game. Maybe I should wait a little bit. No. They have zero, like, legitimate constructive criticism argument. Their argument is, I don't want to watch loading screens 22nd of my life. It's too much. I'm a Gen Z prima donna. Oh my God. Anyway, I hope you subscribe and like and share. Share this greatness, okay? Thank you for watching.